Hello and welcome to another episode of Tales Across Time and Space. Uh, Joining me, as usual, are our players.
Hi, I'm Leah. I'm going to be playing Foxfire,
Uh,
and I'm the alien. What was the name
outsider,
of her
outsider.
playbook again?
Outsider.
Outsider. I'm the outsider.
I am Trevor. I will be playing Frostshot the Star playbook.
And I am Dustin, and I will be playing Blank, the Reformed.
All right, yes, and we also we're short a player at the moment. I think she's just running late, but Jane is playing Ellie Girl, who is our Nova. So, a bit of things here. First off, the Pony Finder Kickstarter is still going on for From the Ashes, the post-apocalyptic setting book. Some really cool content being done there on that. And again, I'm the 5e editor for that. So, full disclosure, I do contribute words to this. So, check that out. It's funded. We're just trying to reach stretch goals at this point. So, if you by chance are one of the people who watch this stream and not already are part of the Pony Finder channel, very well aware of this, it'd be cool if you kind of check that out and see what you can get there. But so that's business side. Let's get on to game. So this week we're doing what has been referred to since the original Apocalypse World game as love letters. I don't like that name, honestly. It's a little awkward here, but so I'm referring to
Very
them.
awkward.
Yeah, I'm referring to them as letters to the editor. Like these are either editorial staff or fans that are writing letters to the characters. They're used to either get a person up to speed who missed the session or someone who words are hard. Or for time jumps. So what we're doing this week is everyone has one of these, and they're basically we're doing a montage.
Oh, why? It should be fan mail. There we go.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Letters to the editor.
Mhm.
The section of the comic book. So, trying to keep in theme here. So.
Oh, okay, not.
Yeah. So.
I was thinking like we have the star, so it's like.
So I'll start reading these off. Each player is going to have one of these. So we'll be starting with Dustin because he kind of knows his way a bit more around this stuff. So let me read off your letter here. So, Dear Blank, your actions in the fight against Calamity impressed the rewind, starting over with less stumbling. Dear Blank.
Before you start, I just love the Dear Blank. It's like, dear insert name here.
Yes, we get that. We're going to be making tons of those because the Apocalypse World engine likes its blanks. Speaking of which, you guys probably don't need to see my settings right now, so. Dear Blank, your actions in the fight against Calamity impressed Professor Helios, and he has put in a good word for you with Aegis. As a result, they have come to you with a few solo missions in the last few weeks. Did you accept them, or did you turn them down?
I accepted them.
Alright. If you accept their offer, roll plus Savior.
Alright. I should actually open up my sheet.
Yep.
Plus
Opening of sheet.
Savior. Alright.
Yep, opening of sheets.
That is a -2. Wish me luck.
Oh!
Oh dear.
Alright.
Gosh.
On a miss, choose one, but you are forced to fight someone you once considered a friend in your old life. I will read off the list, and then we're going to actually get everyone's initial rolls done first, and then we'll come back to you, so you have time to kind of percolate on this. Your options are, you impressed your handler, Agent King, who now thinks the best of you. What did you do that gave them hope for you? You helped thwart a bomber and appeared in all the major media outlets. How has the public's opinion shifting after they have seen you working with... how is the public's opinion shifting after they've seen you working with Aegis? Or, you helped Professor Helios test a new advice. What flaw did you expose in it?
Let's go with the first option. I've
Impressed your handler?
impressed my handler.
Okay.
Mhm.
So let you think on that and figure out, what friend that you had to that you were forced to fight against from your old life. So,
Alright.
all right, let's go over to Kyubi Foxfire.
Hello.
Dear Foxfire, you've made a nice place for yourself in the Halden household. They won't miss that linen closet you turned into your personal pocket realm at all. But when you returned there after the fight, there was a letter laying for you on the bed. It had a wax seal with the kanji for 8 stamped into it. You opened it up, and it was an invitation to have tea in the pavilion at the Central Park at a future date, and was signed with just the letter J. Are you concerned about this letter?
Not concerned, but more curious.
Okay, that's fine. That means this tells me which table you're at. If you aren't worried, roll plus mundane.
Okay. Do, do, do.
Toot-toot-roo.
Find it. Do, do, do.
No, toot-toot-roo.
Yes.
Chim chimney chim 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 shiroo?
Yes.
Oh, Jane, hello!
Hello, I'm human.
Jane!
Sorry, I was grabbing food.
That's fine. You haven't missed much. I did the introduction for you, saying you were just running behind. So we're doing what are called letters to the editor. They're not love letters, despite what the book may call them. All right, you rolled a hit. You get to choose one of the options here.
Yay.
You befriended the established hero Freeze Frame. What do you find odd yet endearing about them? You ingratiated yourself to your hosts. What did you do for them? You managed to contact home. Why are they proud of you? So you get to choose one of those options, and once you choose it, we'll let you kind of think about what exactly happened there.
I'm going to go with the second one.
All right. So good thing Jane arrived just in time for this one. So
Yay!
because that Ella Girl's family is the one who is hosting you right now. So.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so kind of percolate what you did to make yourself feel like, to impress your hosts, and we'll come back to you. Don't come back to you. We're
You'll
going
come back to me.
Yeah, we're trying to get everyone kind of thinking
Thankful.
about their thing, giving them time to think about it. So, we'll do Frost Shots next.
Alright.
Dear Frost Shot, Firebrand is very harsh on your style, but thankfully stays away from the media so it doesn't come up much. Unfortunately, a day or two after the fight at the dam, she broke her silence. When being swarmed by the press after a heroic endeavor, she ripped into you, claiming that you were just someone who was playing at being a hero and a danger to the city. You can't ignore something like that. So do you confront her directly, or do you work hard to prove her wrong?
Well, that's hard because what I had decided before was kind of it's kind of between the two.
Basically, the crux of it is: are you going to confront her directly, yes or no? Like going directly, like going face to face, kind of thing. Confrontation.
If I do that, does it have to be in an upset manner, or?
You based on what you roll, you will have options to kind of choose how this confrontation goes down.
Okay. I suppose I'll confront her partially because I'm curious, like, you know.
Okay. If you
partially, it's what did I do to make you like?
Oh yeah.
Like everyone's entitled to their own opinions, but like.
Yeah, no.
It's starting to get to the point where like, okay, we need to have a.
Yep, no, that's fine. So. If you confront her, you're going to be facing her soon. Roll plus superior. So the idea is that this confrontation will be done in live game. It's just we're going to kind of set the stage here based on this roll. Okay. On a 9. So on a 7 to 9, you get to choose one from the list. All right. You have agitated her prior and made her lose face. What did you do and how did she react? Your audience is going to make this confrontation go viral. How will your audience be watching and why will it catch on? Or, you set the terms of the confrontation and Firebrand has agreed. What form will the confrontation take and why do you think she agreed?
Okay.
So,
I'm going to go with the second.
Okay.
The audience will make it viral.
Yep. So kind of think about how you want that to be described and such, and then we'll come back to you. So Jane.
Yeah.
All right. So this is the letter to your character. So, dear Ella girl, you're without your powers right now, but they told you they would come back eventually. Still, the last few weeks has been strange to you, going back to a normal life after holding such power in your hands. Did you find it refreshing to go back to your roots, or frustrating to be unable to do what you once could?
Honestly, I'm kind of 50-50 on it, because in some ways, I think without my powers, my life would be a little bit easier, but I would probably feel a little bit uneasy because it feels weird to be powerless.
Alright, well, basically it's like, did you spend your time just doing normal stuff, or did you spend your time kind of still chasing after the superhero lifestyle, at least by proximity?
Oh, I probably tried to actually take my normal life.
Okay.
I took advantage of the fact that I was powerless to, like make sure I was caught up on my homework,
Yep.
getting good grades. My mother was probably really happy about that because,
Yep.
as I said, she isn't the most approving of my superhero lifestyle.
Yep. So, if it was, I'm putting you on the refreshing side. So, if you're find it refreshing, shift your mundane up and your freak down.
Oh, okay.
So your mundane, so you have to make your freak goes down to one less, and your mundane goes up one more.
So down one freak, one mundane.
Also, remember, this is something, because it hasn't come up yet, but it may come up eventually. No, your labels can't ever go above 2 or below 3. Negative 3.
I thought that was the other way around.
You are correct,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
I got it backwards. Sorry, but
Well, that's okay because most of my stats have been zeroed out at the moment.
yep. But so, if it would go above that, you cancel the change and instead mark a condition because you're kind of getting a little too extreme and it's kind of messing you up psychologically.
By the way, also in going through this experience, does this give me a chance to remove my condition?
Oh, everyone's
or-
wiping conditions right now. I forgot to mention that. Basically, we're
Oh,
having a
thank goodness.
massive time skip. Kind of here.
Oh, we are wiping conditions?
Yep. You unmark any conditions you have.
Okay.
So, but
Ironically, my condition could still be relative to my situation, but it's okay.
well, now I'm gonna have you roll plus mundane, Jane. Okay, on a miss. You choose one, but you find yourself tied up in mundane obligation once your powers return. So your options are: you made a new group of friends among your unpowered peers. What do you have in common with them? You spent time at home bonding with your mother and learned more about the exploits of your father. What did he do that you hadn't thought to try? Or you volunteered to help a charity organization, and what did you do? Who did you help with your time?
I like to think I tried to make up because if you remember in the very first session, I kind of made a bit of a mess downtown because of our fight with our first supervillain as a team. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I tried to, do some volunteering to try and help clean up a little bit,
Oh, cool.
help out the injured and stuff.
So yeah, so you're kind of helping with some of the the hero recovery force. Let's just call it that. It's kind of the
basically.
cleanup crew that handles aftermath of villain hero fights, because like the heroes are important to stop the villains, but the collateral damage is a thing. So you kind of volunteered with them. So the idea here will be that you'll have some obligations going on with that once your powers return. So you're going to kind of have a bit of a divided front there. So cool. All right, let's.
Yeah, do we mark potential for these failures?
Yes, if you hit roll a miss on these, mark potential.
All right.
These are still these are just special custom moves for kind of covering montage moments where lets me introduce new elements and kind of get the ball rolling.
Mhm.
So okay, so what did you do with your handler there for blank?
Basically, I got a bunch of like intel from basically a supervillain organization type thing. Like, I kind of went undercover as like a henchman, and
Okay. Cool. So you did some infiltration kind of thing. Cool. And in those missions, what friend from your past that were you forced to fight against?
Pika and Boo. They're two intangible like super villain assassins.
Oh, that is so on genre. That is amazing.
Yes.
I'm sorry, but in my mind, one of them is pink. You can't make one of them not pink. I'm sorry.
Obviously, Pika is pink.
Yes. So, all right. Cool. All right. I'll have some stuff to work off from that then. All right. All right. Kyubi.
Yeah.
So, now, Jane, you kind of can have some input on this one because this does involve your family, but what did you do to impress the Holden family?
I probably, basically, I just kind of, well, I moved into the linen closet, and I think I chose to go in there to stay out of the way of everyone else. And I've kind of decorated it myself.
All right, well, that's kind of your space kind of thing. So that's like
Yes.
So beyond that, though, what have you kind of done to kind of make yourself feel part of the household and such?
I think I've been helping cook.
Okay.
Learning how to cook.
Like, so kind of more
Remember, this is a time when I'm actually able to be more mundane, so maybe you've been quote, convincing my mother you're actually taking up my load so I could live more of a normal life.
Yeah, like, I'm gonna be honest, your mother almost certainly knows that you are just temporarily depowered right now.
Oh, that's why my mother's been pushing for me to have a normal life while I can.
So yeah, so all right. So yeah, so you kind of learning how to cook, probably doing some bit of household. You've been doing kind of some brownie work around the house, so to speak, to cross my mythologies.
Me and Baby have been learning how to cook together.
Yes.
God, that's adorable.
Girl time.
All right. So let's move on before I start getting diabetes from this.
Diabetes.
All right, so how will your audience be watching this confrontation when it goes down, and why do you think it'll go viral?
I'm thinking at least part of the reason why it's going to go viral is that Frostshot approaches her in like a, I don't want to say like a non-powered state, but like kind of like a coffee shop setting sort of thing, like, you know,
Okay, so
somewhere calm and like, you know, okay, I'm here to have a mature discussion, not an emotional screamo teeny, like,
yeah.
you know, because you say that I'm not taking things seriously and whatnot, and, you know, I want to explain to you why, have a chance to explain why I think you might be mistaken, or at least understand why you think that.
Okay.
For some reason, I just want to see like a wrestling promo, like.
And so part of the virality is the, actually, you know.
Yeah, no.
Look, she's not acting like she's the center of attention for what he's.
Yeah. Yep. No. So yeah, it will go viral, and that's your intentions there. So I got. Okay. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. So I think that covers just about everything. So for the letters part, so this basically kind of fills in the montage, kind of leading you up. So you know, you kind of see these these almost single panels with maybe like a little bit of editor text narrating what's going on in each of your guys' panels as time passes. Then we open up on.
Obviously, the one that has me and QB working together.
Oh yeah, no, that's totally a panel there. So, 1 second here. So I don't need this up because that. All right, so then we open up onto a full page splash of basically Ella Girl actually fully powers returning, and you just see this pillar of elemental energy radiating off her, and just the text of 1 week later her powers returned, basically after that whole montage kind of thing. So
The SpongeBob title cards. 1 week
I like to
later.
imagine it was in the kitchen, and I went to light the fire, and I accidentally lit myself on fire. My hands on fire for a moment.
Sure. Let's go with that. Like, if you want to go with that, that's fine by me. That's what happens. So it's like, you guys have a place you guys meet. So where is this place?
I don't know. I'm kind of thinking maybe an arcade or something.
I like the arcade idea. Basement of an arcade.
You know what? But
Because the arcade's definitely going to be a place where like other people are going to be like, I don't want to say dressed differently, but like we wouldn't stand out as much there, and it's a good place to either start relaxed or like end a session or whatever relaxed.
okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. Also, do we have like a hidden area? Do we just like rent a room or something for our meetings, or do we just do this like out in the open? I assume not out in the open, but
Well, actually, I'm gonna say blank, because of the work with Aegis and such, and you're officially part of their villain rehabilitation program for juvenile delinquents. They managed to set you up with just it's nothing fancy. It's not like the Legacy Sanctuary or Legacy or the Doomed Sanctuary or the Protege's hidden base kind of thing, but it's at least a private area kind of thing.
Yeah.
How do you get into it?
It's one of
I'm just
those big double or triple sort of machines where like where you get in and it's like the big screen, like typically one of the more expensive games.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen like a Star Wars one where it's like you have like full peripheral vision of the thing kind of going on, and there's like a door. Okay, yeah, I can dig that. Oh,
and is that the room, or is that like just the cover to like the elevator to the actual?
Yeah, that's how you get in. No, having that be the room would be kind of silly.
So it's kind of like an elevator or a slide or something.
Yeah, it's however you choose to picture that. I'm not going to be too detailed about it, because otherwise you get stuff silly like the bat pole.
Wow, the bat pole is an amazing adventure.
Yes!
It's silly. It is so silly. Anyways.
So, yeah, I back it up.
So yeah, you just go in there. You actually you do a button combination and certain thing, and then it lets you get into this hidey hole kind of thing. Which, let's just for convenience say, it has a back exit that lets you go out, so people don't see you necessarily leaving in full costume or something. It's got some base storage, maybe a bunk or two if you need to kind of rest up, but nothing too fancy.
Like maybe an emergency first aid kit or something.
Yeah.
In case, but that's about it.
Yep.
Maybe
Okay.
probably the small size of a small meeting room. It had enough room for a good amount of people, but not someplace you like would probably house.
Yeah.
Come to the blank pad.
No. Here's what it is. The layer is referred to as Bunker 404.
Yeah, that sounds like something stupid we'd name it.
No. Apparently our password to get into the thing is we use the console for the arcade machine, and it's obviously left, right, A, B, start.
No.
No. If you're being corrected, it'd be up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, select, start.
Yeah.
Up, down, down.
Yes. But no, actually, what I'm picturing.
That would be the perfect compliment.
Actually, what I'm picturing is there's like some of these fake. They look fake plastic keypads, just part of the set dressing, but one of them actually does respond to a code combination, and that's how you actually get in. So, anyways, so after that splash page, it cuts to a shot of you guys all kind of hanging out in the space here, kind of just figuring out, kind of regrouping, kind of catching each. The idea is you guys. This is the first time you've been together since the Ellie girl temporarily lost her powers. So, what do you do?
Oh my gosh, guys, it's wonderful. Look, I'm gonna like snap my fingers, and poof, the fire shows up. They're back.
Oh, that's good.
You know,
In the back of Frost.
It's been a bit of a tough week. I was a little concerned for a bit, but you know what? It gave me a chance to catch up on life for a bit.
So what were you saying there, Trevor?
I don't remember.
Yeah, you were saying something, then you kind of cut out there.
Trying to wrap up my thing I said when I accidentally interrupted you. I apologize.
Nah, it was a stupid little quip.
Okay.
I just don't remember what it was.
Insert quip here. Biting quip 32 not found. So. But yes.
Oh, right. In the back of Frost's mind, they think, well, the drama can restart again now.
Yeah, so... And just so you know, those developments kind of in your from the levelers, you haven't necessarily told to the rest of your team here, so...
Oh, and QB, did you bring the snacks?
Yes.
Please tell me they're pork buns.
What did you guys?
They are
pick
pork
up?
buns.
Yes.
Pork buns.
I agree to the statement.
Okay, what were you trying to say,
They are
Trevor?
pork buns and pizza.
No, just please don't tell me it's Hardee's again. That stuff is so greasy.
No. We made it ourselves.
It's pork buns and pizza.
Okay, Blake, why don't you go ahead and have the first piece, considering it's partially thanks to you we were able to take care of Calamity.
So, do you take the first piece of pork bun pizza?
I probably said pork buns and pizza.
I know, but my mind is just picturing you just put the pork buns onto a pork bun on each pizza slice. It's just the way my brain pictures that.
I can see it.
Dustin?
When did he go poof?
He's still in the...
Dustin!
Oh, no, there he goes. He poofed.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Good.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say my mask doesn't actually have a hole in it, and I don't remove it.
Well, that's the thing. You are the group of people who knows your secret identity, because that is something you specifically lost in the battle how you met.
That's right. Good point. All right, I will.
It is good pizza,
Okay.
actually.
I will take a piece and just lift my mask and take a bite, I guess.
You haven't learned how to eat with your mask on?
Well, normally he probably doesn't take that time to eat in his mask. He probably eats them in a civilian ID.
And have you seen this mask? It's like a hard piece of plastic. That's like.
Yeah? Oh, right, you don't really have much in the way of... Never mind.
Not really a mouth hole.
Yeah.
It's like, what kind of wannabe ninja are you? Oh, right, you're not really a ninja. How can...
But yes. So yeah, so
I haven't mastered the Kakashi way of eating.
okay.
That is part of what I was referencing, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, so
Do we need a roll to say how good it was, or
no, it's good. Like as part of her, QB's role, that was she chose that as her option, so she did learn how to cook something fairly decently.
Mm-hmm.
Though I'm sure the first couple times I set the kitchen on fire.
It's just a picture of you sitting in there holding out a smoldering pile and just saying, "This is fine."
Mm-hmm. Pretty good.
Oh, yeah. So yes, so
what have you two been up to this week? Since while I've been having the week off.
well, it was more than a week. It was just 1 week after that montage effectively going on. So it was more like 3 weeks.
Okay.
So
Work. That's all Plank's gonna say about it.
Yeah, and Ellie Girl, you did hear the Firebrand. I'm going to point out everyone pretty much heard the Firebrand comment. You didn't necessarily hear Frostshot's response, but the initial comment was definitely everyone heard about that. So.
Yeah, Frostshot. That was a little. I heard there was like news going around my school about something like. I definitely saw that. What exactly led you to do that?
What? Frostshot hasn't done anything yet. It was Firebrand calling out Frostshot at the dam.
Okay. Well, what are you thinking you're going to have to do about that whole thing with Fire?
I'm working something out with them. She's always been, well, she's always been her, but at this point, it's gotten to the point where I can't keep. I just need to figure out what her problem with me is.
Yeah.
I was willing to ignore it for a while, but it's starting to get to the point where I feel if I keep ignoring her, it's going to get to become a serious problem, and we don't need.
That's actually pretty level-headed of you.
Who are you and what have you done with Frostshot?
Way to keep your cool.
So, fun fact, had you rolled a miss on your thing for confronting, the extra little bit of trouble would have been your audience loves the rivalry and demands you escalate it.
Not surprised.
Yeah, no, I feel like that's like a really sensible way the story could go. It's just not something you necessarily want. But yeah. So, what ifs aside, QB.
Yes.
You haven't been thinking much about the invitation, but it does, serving the kind of the stuff here, it reminds you that invitation is for this afternoon, actually.
Yes.
So. Is this invitation something you would have at least brought up with me, if not the other two?
I think I'm keeping it quiet because I am curious, but at the same time, I think I'm worried that if I tell you guys, you'll tell me not to go.
I love that.
Why would we say that instead of just, all spying on you? Well, I'm insulted that you don't know us better. Or I wouldn't be if I actually knew this was going on, but I don't. So.
Oh man, I'm actually just kind of I love that. I am totally okay with that.
I do kind of love the idea of all of them spying on me.
Have you been looking through my garbage? Please, I look through everyone's garbage.
What is that? Is that the question or whatever it is that DC guy who looks a bit like Rorschach? Yeah. Okay. I love. I haven't seen much of it, but I love the things I've found. The little things on the end of shoelaces are called aglets. Their true purpose is sinister.
I knew it!
Seriously, he's basically a superhero conspiracy nut. So he is amazing. Regardless.
Yes.
So, so just putting that out there. So yeah, that is getting close to the time. So what do you do?
I think I'm basically going to tell them that that I have something I need to do.
Oh, okay. Do you want us to come with you, or is this something you would rather do on your own?
No, it's just a little bit of shopping.
Okay.
I'll be fine.
All right.
Okay, if you get home, should I tell Mom you're out?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
What money do you have for shopping?
Before I go back to finishing work.
Mm-hmm.
Blank did ask you a question there, Foxfire.
Oh, yes.
What money do you have for the shopping?
I can magic up money.
That's not how money works. Foxshot actually says that, but a bit slower. That's not how money works. So, I thought we'd been over that.
Understand money.
Oh, this is amazing. This is so beautiful. So yes, but I'm actually gonna say for this scene, just because you are the one who would be most paranoid here. If you would like, this is a perfect opportunity for Blank to try to pierce Foxfire's mask.
Mm-hmm.
Shopping trip!
Dun dun dun!
So when you roll
Sorry, what was that for Blank?
right now, based on the kind of your character will probably be the one most suspicious of anything. So I'm gonna have you giving you an opportunity here if you would like to pierce the mask.
Sure.
When you pierce
the mundane?
Yep. When you pierce someone's mask to see the person beneath, roll plus mundane.
Alright. Nope.
Oh. Alright, so you miss. So...
Is there any chance I can try to assist him?
Yeah, if you want to spend a team from the pool. Oh, team has been reset to 1, by the way, because we have a time speed up. So we only have 1 team in the pool. So
I really kind of want to. Above board, anyone gonna be upset if I use it?
At a meta level, I feel I want to know, but at character level, I've never used to be suspicious.
I can always spend team selfishly and get the +1.
yeah, you can do that too. Cause,
That would probably make more sense.
Yeah, and honestly,
in character,
I would say in this case, probably the best way if you spend it selfishly would be like you are snooping and not respecting her privacy. So I think that kind of covers the disrespect angle.
All right.
yeah, because we've already established that you've got those mini cameras.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'll just slip one of those on her.
Okay. All right. So you get to ask one of these questions. What are you really planning? What do you want me to do? What do you intend to do? How could I get your character to blank? How could I gain influence over you?
I guess what are you really planning?
Okay, just so you know, intend to do is short term, planning on is long term.
I guess short term would be best because I don't think he knows what the long term plan is for this.
Yep. So, all right. So answer him truthfully, Foxfire. What are you really planning on doing? You're not saying this in character. We can justify how he learns this in a second here, but go ahead and answer the question.
Well, I got a letter. And it was an invitation to meet someone. And I was curious.
Okay. Actually, that's what I think.
Exactly.
What you see actually is as she leaves, you go to go to try to subtly plant a device, but you see that just as she kind of leaves out the back door, she drops the letter.
Ah. Thank you. Totally going to take that and read it.
Yeah. So again, it's an inventory.
Quietly or out loud?
That's up
Quietly, because
Yes. You're kind of like in like a equivalent to a mud room when you see this. Like you acted like you were just going to check on something quick, I imagine, or whatever, so that everyone else wasn't immediately suspicious of you going behind that. But so it's just like you see this letter, and you see a removed seal that has the kanji for 8 stamped into it. I'm gonna guess you can identify some basic kanji, so you probably have had a glut of language learning just for kind of that Black Widow style training. I guess I'm just kind of picturing. It's not as thorough as someone who has like a full adult would have been because you got off that route earlier, but you still know a lot of things like that. And the inside letter inside is written in English. It's kind of a parchmenty paper, and it's got the invitation says, I request your presence at the pavilion in the main park at let's just say 4 p.m. today. Effectively, it doesn't say today. It's dated for like 3 weeks, and it gives the date. It just happens to be today's date.
Mm-hmm.
And so that letter was just dropped there. It looks like parchment, like really old style. Yes, it's parchment, but it's perfectly white.
Blank's not going to alert the team of this yet, but he's going to follow her.
Okay. Yep. So I'm just gonna say you are this is what you've been trained to do. You are stealthy when you want to be.
Hmm.
So. All right. So yeah. So Blank and QB are going off.
Gone back upstairs and I'm playing around with North.
Okay. Cool. So yeah. Anything you guys want to do, or otherwise we'll follow them and continue on the scene there.
Nothing strongly I can think of.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, like feel free to kind of we can create coincidence to draw you guys in later, but especially with Blank following. But so yes, QB.
In the park, you say?
Communication. If there's some sort of issue,
Yep.
we can signal each other.
Yep. No, you guys have. It's easy enough to assume you guys have some basic comm set. Even if it's just a Bluetooth headset paired to your phone, you have something. Communication is not hard in this day and age.
Blank threw tracking devices on all of you.
I'll say, the excuse for why Frostshot will be there, she's busy walking her faithful dog.
Oh, Frostshot has a puppy?
Yeah. Yeah, his dog is his biggest fan.
Yeah. Okay.
I was gonna say you should take the beacon familiar or beacon thingy.
Yeah, you might want to look into that. The beacon move. Come on, Lucky. It gives you a pet that can help you out in your super endeavors. So yeah, so yes, QB, you approach this pagoda. I assume, are you in your civilian guise, or are you?
I'm in my civilian guise right
Okay.
now.
That's cool. So let me quick change that.
Yes, if you look at the bottom of their screen, we have a new thingy that transforms our costumes into the civilian.
So there you go.
Probably should put me in my civilian outfit as well.
Yep, I'll do that here. Blank, are you civilian or are you? Because honestly, I have no idea which.
I am costume.
Okay, you're still in costume. What about you, Frostshot?
Well, if I'm walking my dog, then it would be a civilian.
Okay. I apologize for yours a bit because I did not. Your super form has more blank space, so the proportions get a little off when I switch them.
No biggie.
Yep. So okay.
I love all our civilian looks. They're adorable.
You'll never see blanks, or at least you'll never see it and know it was him.
Yes.
But yes,
Dun, 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 dun.
before you looms an like a gazebo. I could not think of the term. I can't believe it. I'm an RPGer and I could not
fire an arrow at it.
Obviously dangerous.
Yes, well,
God damn it, Rob! Do you even know what a carriage is?
the dread gazebos aside, this is an octagonally shaped gazebo. Entrances, going off, leading on paths, leading off in like 4 cardinal directions off of it, where the other sides just have fencing and such. And on the center, you see, funnily enough, okay, so this woman is wearing what looks like to be like one of those power suit dresses kind of things, like the very business wear, but you keep looking at it and your mind, it somehow to your mind kind of seems to echo forms of a kimono without actually being one. Like, most people say, oh yeah, that's business wear, but to you, it seems very reminiscent of a kimono. And there is a table. She is sitting at the little table underneath the roof of the pavilion, and sitting in front of her is a Japanese tea set.
Mm-hmm.
You can see a little bit of steam wafting off from the kettle, showing that there is hot liquid within it.
Yes.
What do you do?
I'm gonna sit down over there and I think I trust what's going on.
Okay. All right. Sorry, so I gotta get the voice in my head for this person. As you sit down, the woman gives a small bow to you. Says, sorry, because so much of the stuff was going to be kind of variable, so I couldn't really prep a super loud, so I'm just trying to get the voice in my head here. So yes, okay. Thank you for accepting my invitation. She gives a small bow to you, Miss Kyubi.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what she says as you sit down.
Yes.
So. And then she starts pouring the tea, and this is happening in character beyond the GM's knowledge, because I unfortunately didn't think to actually do the research for this, but she begins basically the tea ceremony kind of procedure.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you do?
I'm probably gonna ask her where she's from specifically.
I am from abroad, but I have made my home in this city for many years. And may I return the question to you as well?
Yes. I'm from a faraway world named Magpie.
Okay.
World realm.
Abroad! Talk about your mother. Sorry.
My, I have never heard of such a place. It must. Sorry. The smile is almost over. She has a smile on her. When she said it, you glimpse for a moment of her smiling a little more than just the polite smile, like a genuine, like happy kind of smile, before it fades down to the more polite smile.
Yes.
So where then she says, that seems like a fascinating place. What do you do?
I think at this point, because I'm noticing that smile, I'm beginning to wonder if maybe she's from the same place.
Well, if you're starting to wonder about her, I think this is a great time to pierce the mask.
Yes.
So roll plus mundane.
Okay.
Mask the Pierce.
Actually, don't you have some moves related to Pierce the Mask, or is that only comfort and support?
Let me check my moves. I have Belong in Two Worlds, Best of Them, and Not So Different After All.
Okay, yeah, those are more comfort and support style. Okay, I didn't know if you had
Yes,
stuff.
most of mine are comfort and support.
Yeah, because I know you had a lot of things that let you use stuff other than mundane, so I just wanted to make sure that didn't apply here.
So roll plus mundane?
Yep.
Plus one mundane or just mundane?
Just whatever your mundane is.
Okay.
Yeah, her facade is solid. It's like you that other than that one slip up, you can't really seem to get a solid insight into what she's actually thinking.
Yeah.
So, one second here, I gotta pull up a document. I didn't want to launch. I didn't want us to launch a search. I wanted to open. Thank you. Limited series. Thank you. Okay. So. Okay. All right. So she finishes the ceremony, precisionally executed, like not a thing out of place in it. And she says, "So tell me, when do you plan to return to your home?"
I'm not sure.
You are unsure of when you will return home? Why is that?
I'm enjoying this world right now.
Surely you will. Well, the city is a marvel. Surely you must be it is no match to what the glories of one's home.
I feel like I can do more help here.
She kind of just she stands up here again, a very precisionally, like immaculately performed bow to you, and says, "I thank you for visiting me here. This conversation has been delightful." And she bows to you and turns to start walking away. So yes, so what do you do?
I think I'm gonna go after her.
Oh yeah, and Blank, if you want Blank to intervene on any of this, because you are nearby.
Yeah.
So Blank, you kind of heard all this conversation, and then she bows and turns away, and you don't really know what half the stuff was going on for, because I am willing to bet that your training did not include immaculate Japanese tea ceremonies, but. So what do you do?
Yes, the immaculate Japanese tea ceremony. Only the most refined.
Yes. Clearly, that's the best way to become an assassin is the tea ceremony.
Well, if the Total War games have taught me, that's how geishas do assassinations. Anyways.
Sorry, now I'm just picturing like, oh, and you clearly haven't seen Blank and Komodo.
I know, I'm actually just picturing the mask with like the geisha paint on it. Anyways.
So yeah, Blank is also going to be stealthily following her, like more on the rooftop and stuff like that. Like,
okay. Well, you tried to at least, but then you find you get caught on something sticky, and you turn to look at your foot, and it looks like cobwebs. What do you do?
I guess I will take out a knife and like try to uncobweb myself.
Yeah. Your knife eventually does cut through it, but it seems to be like resisting it considerably. you know what? I'm going to actually have you roll to unleash your powers on this one.
All right.
Because the idea here is that if you can bring your force, like the proper amount of force to bear, you can keep your tail on her, but otherwise you're going to end up losing her.
Yeah. Oh no.
Don't forget, and remember, with all these misses, don't forget to mark potential. Because I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
someone...
I've actually got an advancement now.
All right, well, you get to take that right away. So, what advancement do you want to take
right.
from your playbook?
Oh, I'll need to look at my playbook.
Yep.
I wasn't prepared to actually level up right now, so.
Yeah, that happens. Here's my reformed playbook. I had physical copies of everything sitting on here, I thought. Folder just out of arm's reach. This is great TV. All right, using the D&D book to try to move the folder. It's getting closer. Just got it. Okay. I think I marked potential for that because I think I hurt something. Okay, there's the reformed.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so I'm actually, I'm gonna let, you lose her. I'm just gonna say you just lose her for the time being because we're gonna focus on QB following her at the moment.
Yeah.
And I'll give you some time to pick your advance here.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not waiting on that. All right, so QB, you're kind of following her quietly and such. She doesn't seem to be even. The first thing you notice that seems to be a bit odd is she doesn't seem to be even entertaining the thought of her being followed. Like normally someone would even take a glance just behind them, even if they're not paranoid. But she almost steadfastly is just walking on. And notably, she seems to be taking a path into the park that seems to be a little more. She cuts to the edge, but then she kind of doubles back into the park. This is around the time that actually Blank gets lost on the rooftop, kind of thing, and to like a kind of a more wooded area. This is like Central Park big. It's not a small park. It's so.
Oh, I just realized we also forgot to do my friends in low places rule.
Oh, yep. You can go ahead and we'll worry about that at the end of the session because I think we're kind of following this thread for the moment.
All right. Yeah.
She eventually in like kind of like just a kind of the trail just kind of dead ends in the middle of the woods, and you're like pretty sure the woods around you weren't this thick before. So and then she turns around to face you like she knew you were following her the entire time. Curiosity, is it not a burden? She says to you. What do you do?
I guess it could be.
Well, regardless, we can talk more plainly now. Away from prying eyes. I've heard what happened at...
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I'm totally not following you.
You lost them. You missed that roll.
Yeah, I know. It was just an out of character joke.
What? I like the little echo. That was actually appropriate.
Yes.
But yeah, so she just smiles at you. And you notice as she smiles at you, her eyes aren't focused on you.
Yeah.
They're just not focused anywhere. So. I had heard what happened to you in the shrine. It is sad that you put on a brave face, but I know that, at least for right now, going home isn't even an option. But your courage is commendable, I must agree. But don't worry. You have friends in this world as well. People who can help you. And then she pulls out a card and offers it to you and says, "Here, in case you ever need a friend." What do you do?
I'll take the card.
All right. On the card, there's like on the back of the background, there's kind of this like crisscrossing kind of grid pattern underneath it. And under there, there's an address, and it just simply reads. 1 second, let me double check that. Okay, it just says, and it just like lists Joramo. Joro as the first name, Mo as the last name, and it simply says web consultant underneath it as for the position. Thank you. Don't worry. It won't be hard to find me if you need help. And then she just kind of like you think you're good, able to pull off that kind of disappearing trick, but that was nothing compared to this woman. It's just like she was there and then not.
Yeah.
So yes, Blake, jumping quick over to you here. You kind of get yourself cut through the web, and after a bit, you manage to find a trail. It kind of leads into the woods, and you manage to come across. You finally find Kyubi just as she's walking out. Unfortunately, you kind of weren't expecting her to be wandering out this direction, so you weren't exactly in the best stealth position. So she sees you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that one on there because you did miss on that, so kind of keep things interesting there. What do you do? Both of you. This is.
I think I'm kind of surprised to realize that he was following me.
What about you, Blink? How do you react to having your stealth blown?
I'm basically gonna go, so what was that about? I'm not even gonna try to deny that I was following her. I thought.
So you guys, role play here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. But yeah, I think I just end up asking him, why were you following me?
So you answer a question with a question?
I'm gonna actually just reveal the letter that she dropped. You received a anonymous letter from someone no one really knows where to locate you or who you are, and yet you got this letter. That's suspicious as hell.
That is probably a little suspicious.
I just wanted to make sure that you weren't walking into a trap.
No, I was fine. If I were, I'd take care of myself.
Ooh.
I just wanted to make sure you could take care of yourself.
I can.
Alright, I think we're going to call that scene here. So, So, have you picked your advance yet?
Yes. I am actually going to take a move from another playbook.
Okay, cool.
And that's going to be Dangerous Web.
That is, I believe, a protege move?
That's Janice move.
Janice move. Okay, thank you. All right, here, 1 second here. Go ahead and read it aloud if you would like.
All right. Dangerous web. When you reveal a trap you've left for someone using your powers, roll plus your mask label, which I assume because I don't have one, I just choose.
Yeah, just...
On a hit, your opponent trips into it, and you can open in or an opportunity against them. On a 10 plus, take one pushing forward on it. On a miss, the trap never leads to a dangerous escalation.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So, yeah, 1 second here. A quick check something on the index. So I have a physical book for these kind of things. I just want to double check on that mask label thing.
Yeah.
Advances. Okay, I need page 114.
If that doesn't work, I can take something else.
No, that works fine.
Alright.
It's just like I was just double checking, make sure there wasn't a specific. Yeah, no. Basically, we'll just choose a label to act as your mask.
Yeah, I will choose danger.
Okay. Yep. That fits. Definitely fits. So, all right, cool. So you have that move when you lay a trap.
Mm-hmm.
So, cool beans. Oh, there's my Janus. All right. Okay, yeah, cool. Would have been really useful had that come down to this.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so we're actually gonna jump a little more into the future, kind of start pursuing Frostshot's angle here. So
how much in the future? Because if I realized my powers were back at this point, I would probably be
this is
at this beat off my job.
Yeah. No, what I'm saying was this point in the story is basically you guys meeting up was just after your powers returned. So
okay.
Yeah, so your powers are back. That's kind of why we did that montage, because I wanted it to be a duration for you actually losing your powers, because that was kind of the cost there, but it kind of influenced things. That's why we kind of did this montage. So, all right. So yeah, so let's actually, before we do that, why don't you roll your obligation for your highest obligation for friends in low places, since we're kind of at kind of a good intermediary point.
Alright. Surprised I don't have like a little roll thing beside these. But
I thought they did.
okay, a 10.
We may be putting a pause on that on jumping over to Frostshot's thing, because I believe on a 10 plus they come barreling into your life.
Yes, and that is Kingside.
Okay, if I remember, fresh memory on Kingside here. So I know his specialty was materials.
Yeah.
And like I know he had a chess theme. Was he like a mastermind kind of person, or a?
Yeah, it was basically like Lex Luthor intelligence. Like.
Okay. As you guys, the two of you are walking out of the park area. I'm just gonna kind of pull this in right now. It's just like, Blank, you notice this right away because you're kind of always kind of surveying things from that or opposite plate. The fact that there is a limousine sitting there with a man with a kind of a chauffeur dressed man standing right out of it, looking directly at you. Something has gone rather odd.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
Is Kyubi still there? Or?
Yes, she's still with you. I'm not.
Right, I will. I'll say. Well, I need to take care of this. I'll meet you back at the base.
QB. I want to point out here. Well, he just asked you to leave something to just to him, but he didn't give you the same respect. So.
Yes.
So what do you do?
I'm gonna follow him.
Are you going to follow him overtly or covertly?
Covertly.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Turn around the biatch.
I'm sorry. I'm just picturing this little beetle, like ladybug, flying through the air. But if you look closely, it has little foxtails, right? that are under its shell.
That's so cute.
All right. So then I will.
Oh god, Blank, you've been bugged. So yeah, I'm gonna just allow that right now, just for the 5 thing. If it comes up to be more pressing, like a thorough examination, I'm gonna have you.
I assume that Blank's actually going to be aware that he's being followed because this is Kyubi and like you said, like he didn't give her the like respect of like, oh yeah, I'll take care of this myself.
Yeah, and she just disappears, and then you're like, yeah, she is totally following me.
Yeah. So this is like all according to Kekaku.
Kekaku means fine.
About going to follow him?
Yeah, I'm gonna be sneaky about it.
And yeah, maybe she did say something like, she like is like, all right, I'll meet later. She walks off, and then the moment you're out of sight, she changes.
Mm-hmm.
I shall go to the limousine.
All right. And the chauffeur doesn't look familiar to you directly, but you see kind of he has a little badge, like an employee ID badge kind of thing. And there's a very familiar castle symbol to the side of it, clearly identifying who he works for. To at least those who are in the know.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have a mundane for him, or should I make something up for you?
A mundane name for it?
Yeah, for Kingside. I just wanted to know if you already had one, because I have no problem making it.
I did. It was Julian Prince.
What was it? The first name?
Julian Prince.
Julian. It's okay.
Yes.
Mr. Prince requires your presence here. Requires your presence as he opens the rear door.
Yeah. I would ask what this is about, but I'm sure you can tell the peons.
Quite.
Alright, I will go into the limo.
And I assume QB follows. You know, you have dealt with Kingside like this before. You know, he's not necessarily someone who is known for his information network kind of thing, or at least not in the way that he shares with anyone else. But he does have a pretty firm finger on the pulse of the city, so he can pretty much find anyone he wants to when he needs them.
Yeah.
So, and you said his specialty.
And that's why I'm not resisting this, because.
Yep. And you said his specialty was materials, correct?
Yeah.
All right. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to keep it fresh in my head, so I know how to, because this is kind of introducing the character here to play. Mm-hmm. So yeah. So there are some refreshments, non-alcoholic actually. So he's specifically going for you.
Yeah.
This wasn't just Plan B or something. He wanted you specifically.
Mm-hmm. I'm not going to drink anything because, again, my mask.
Yeah, I know. But, there's still certain niceties that have to be adhered to when you're a supervillain. But yeah, and like you quickly identify at least 3 different hidden cameras and recording devices.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, you don't have a lick of privacy, and he would love it if you would just remove your mask.
Yeah.
So,
I'm sure we
But
played
it's
these
not
games
going to,
before.
but that would be possibly giving away his secret identity to supervillains.
Mm-hmm.
well, to be fair, he never gave his secret identity away when he was a supervillain. So
Yeah.
So yeah, so a short while later, you arrive at the the King's Tower. God, what is with you and I totally forgot about Kingside when I gave you Agent King as your Aegis handler. You just seem to have you seem to be having issues with royalty, I guess. But yeah, so you take, they wave you past. They give you a little badge that passes you through past the front desk, and like no one even questions your presence here.
Mm-hmm.
And you take the elevator straight up to this. The elevator moves on its own accord based on your badge. So, sometimes you've gone off and handled sub-handlers before with dealing with him, and this time though you're going straight up to the suite, to him directly. So yeah, the elevator doors slide open. You're in this. You walk and you're in kind of the reception area. There's a secretary waiting. Gives you a quick look over and then goes back to typing. From past experience here, you know that like that secretary would be able to completely demolish you in a straight fight.
Yeah. I imagine she's like Mercy from like
what?
Like Young Justice.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I've been playing a lot of Overwatch lately, so I had a completely different image in my mind.
Oh yeah. What's that, Mercy?
But yeah, so you basically get waved on directly into his office.
Mm-hmm.
So he's sitting behind the desk. And why don't you give us a kind of a physical description? He's not in any kind of super get up at the moment. He's just in more of a civilian identity.
Well, like he's a very like business oriented man, like short, clean, platinum blonde hair, like
Mm-hmm.
it's like thin rimmed glasses and such, like.
Huh? What kind of clothing is he wearing?
He's wearing like a all white suit with like a black tie.
Okay, good. We were on the same page on that one. I admit my brain may be subconsciously trying to pull from Kingpin a bit.
Yeah.
But yes, all right, cool.
Yes, William Fisk.
So he's like much thinner than that.
Yeah. No, I didn't expect the more bulky kind of thing. I know I'm.
Mm-hmm.
I picture if he does something directly, he's in like power armor or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Blank, it is good to see you again.
Mr. Prince.
Please call me Julian. Notably, he tends to do that when he feels like he is completely in control here.
Mm-hmm.
So, now, please, take a seat.
I will do so because I'm sure he hasn't pulled all these strings just to try to get me assassinated or anything like that.
No. So,
exactly what is this about?
well, first off, I would like to congratulate you. I've heard some people have told me that you've really done well for yourself in turning your life around. Working with Aegis, I hear.
Yes. It wasn't something I expected myself, but
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm chuckling at some chat going on in the Discord here. But anyways, yes. Just shake, man. That's all I have to say. All right. And I know how much it must have pained you to put. I'm sorry, this is gonna be hard to say them seriously. Pika and Boo behind bars. I know you had rolled with them more than a few times.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll get over it. It's hard to keep people who can walk through walls in bars.
Yes, but that facility yes, that's right. You had defended against Calamity. Like the way he says Calamity, he shows that he has no respect for this guy either. That is indeed a public service you did to the city here. Now,
yes,
of course, that leads me to my business proposition.
Oh, and what is this?
Now I know
I was like, you couldn't see it, but blank raise an eyebrow.
it clips through the mask. Anyways, joking aside. Now I know you are working hard to try to provide a good life for your sister, and I understand the reluctance to go into this business, and I appreciate the service you are doing to the city, especially against those who have disrespect to the city.
The fact that you mentioned his sister, that's alarms going off.
Yeah, you're probably betting on the fact that he may have vague ideas based on some bits and pieces he's collected over the year, but you can't be sure if he has a solid one-to-one identity click, or he may be bluffing to try to gauge your reaction.
Well, it's a good thing I don't show any reactions.
Yep. But
your face just doesn't show emotion.
He doesn't show a face, to be honest.
Yeah.
So all I'm asking is a little bit of information here and there, keeping you on retainer, providing you anonymous funding to keep any family members you wish to keep safe or well cared for. I'm not asking you to stand out to take a step into the old life. Just answer a question here and there. And of course it won't be anyone truly destructive. People like Calamity belong imprisoned. They are threats to everyone.
I see we can at least agree with that.
After all, this is simply just business here, and we are of a higher caliber. So with that sentence there, he is actually going to try to shift your labels here. He's trying to shift your superior up and your savior down.
My savior cannot go any lower, so...
I think you want to reject his influence then.
Yeah.
So just give me a flat...
9!
Okay.
Woo.
You get to choose one from the list as soon as I figure out what the list is.
Alright.
Because they put that in a weird spot. So, you can clear a condition or mark potential by immediately acting to prove them wrong. Shift one label up and one label down, your choice. Cancel influence and take +1 forward against them.
Ooh, let's see. I'm actually just going to open up the thingy myself and reread those.
Yep, no problem. Yeah, so...
That is basic moves. here we are.
Yeah.
Here's reject the influence. Let's see. Clear condition or mark potential. I think I am going to. I think I'm going to market potential.
Okay, cool.
Improve them on.
All right, so how? Because basically I'm going to treat this as though, like, yeah, you are, while it's tempting, you are definitely holding to yourself in terms of, like, wanting to be a hero, not trying to fall under his influence.
Mm-hmm.
So, go ahead and you may respond.
Yeah. I think you got the wrong idea about my willingness to change my life. I no longer work with people like you.
he honestly chuckles to himself. It's like, very well. You are a potential asset, and I have no even assets that aren't cooperative as of now. I am not intending to waste, but the offer will stand, and I will find you questions. And if you find answers to those questions, it will be a reward. There will definitely be, it will be well worth your while. But as you kind of step up to turn to leave and everything, but he says, remember one thing, though. Cross me, even in the line of your duty, and you will pay for your insolence.
And the same to you. And I will walk out.
As you walk out, there's this kind of the lingering panel of him behind, like, the desk, kind of tenting his fingers, and he's like, just kind of chuckles to himself and says, I wouldn't have it any other way. And kind of blacks out, and just kind of the picture of the grin kind of silhouetted there. So, okay.
Yeah.
So, jumping off of you, now we're going to kind of get the stage set for Moons, because I feel like Moon and... let's kind of have Moon Ellie Girl kind of in the same spot in the future, just kind of... Just kind of give you guys a little bit of attention tonight.
I don't mind. I'm really, really tired.
Depending on the situation, I really think I could help out with Moon. That would not be an issue.
Yeah, no.
If we got him issues.
So, small time kind of jump here, and you're kind of like... you're kind of just... You've been messaging with your audience, getting some people with some cameras kind of stashed around the Starbucks. Ella Girl has volunteered to kind of to be there for some sort of support from your team, kind of thing, for this initial company.
She is the insurance that this isn't going to get violent and or.
Yeah, because I think out of anyone, like, especially with who her father is, she's kind of really respected, and even just for her, and like in your peer, like, like no one knows. She is a straight as an arrow when it comes to doing things. Like, she is kind of viewed as a person who would kind of smack her teammates into action, into knocking it off if it was it, and would extend same courtesy to other people. That's just my view on that.
She is my insurance that A, things are not going to get violent between us, that B, that things will be kept civil between us, and C, that I don't try to come away with the wrong impression or whatever, because Ella Girl will have been there as well as like a witness to go, no, she didn't say that, sort of.
Yep. All right, so as you guys have you've kind of set up the cameras and such, so this is going to get cast online voice clips and all that kind of stuff. So it's you have kind of your web. You have a web. You kind of pulled some string with your audience to get some web people in here, and so kind of. I think you guys actually, I'm gonna say you're like it's kind of one of those outdoor bistro kind of seating areas, just because they don't want you getting in the way of the actual business as much. So this is kind of a little more in case it gets heated, it's less likely to explode.
Yeah.
Like they trust that you have someone here to kind of keep it contained in that extent, but they still feel more comfortable if it just was kept outside.
Well, that and we don't want to disturb their business.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, as you so you're kind of sitting there. Here, let me choose side. Put you guys in costume.
Would have prepared to me. Well, I want to say a little bit of role play to this. So is this the same day, I assume?
Maybe it's like a day or two later. Not necessarily the same day, but not enough significant to trigger any time passes moves.
All right.
So, if QB or Blank want to get involved in this, they can. It's just like I'm gonna try to focus in on you guys, just to kind of give you a little more spotlight here. So yeah, so
I'm good where I am because I think me and QB will have a conversation after this.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, because QB was totally there for that entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
Which, all right, we'll discuss that in a second here. So yeah, so as you're sitting there, kind of just you just see a kind of just firebrand. Obviously pyrokinetic kind of thing, so just kind of just whooshes into, apparently can teleport via fire, so it just kind of whooshes into existence into being in front of you, just kind of like far away enough that it's not causing too much damage, though there is definitely a singe on the sidewalk. And walks up to you, kind of looking a little cross. So I was like, "So, is this
A
your
needle pulling thread?"
What? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Oh, sorry. That was me making a quip because you're hesitating for quite a bit after the so.
Well, that was more of Firebrand just saying so, like just. So yeah, so. All right, you wanted to talk? I'm here. She kind of sits down in there. Stereotypical is stereotypical. Like, she looks like she should be a fire user. Yeah. Long red hair. She looks like Irish descent, so like pale skin, freckles. Her outfit is kind of like skin tight. You see some chest armor, and she's got a pair of black gloves for design. It seems relatively basic compared to more flashy ones like the stuff you wear, or even Ella Girl's costume looks a little more fanciful than what Firebrand currently wears. But she pulls out one of the wrought iron chairs and sits down, and for a minute there you notice a bit of the chair glowing a little color before it starts to cool down immediately after that.
Can I get you anything to drink?
I'm fine.
I thought your name was Firebrand, but alright. I'll call you Fine if you'd prefer.
Can you at least pretend to take this seriously?
Frostshot holds up their hands and, like, I don't want to say mock surrender, but it's like, sorry, just trying to loosen the tension.
I have better things. I believe there are better things I could do right now, but if I can get you to realize what a fool you've been doing, I guess it is more of my time to make sure that other problems don't become bigger problems.
Well, at least I was hoping you would be able to expand upon that statement as to what precisely you believe I'm doing to be wrong. Because I don't want to, start the he said, she said game and
Yes. All right.
just because I took something out of context or misunderstood you somehow.
All right. You want to know what you did wrong. That correct?
In your words, yes.
You had no business fighting Calamity. You were outclassed, outgunned. All you did was dance prettily and cause a bit of a distraction. You chose to try to directly engage him when you had on the team as Ella Girl, whose father has been the one who was the one to take him down before. Instead of focusing on, I don't know, something more in line with your power level, you decided to try to be a glory hog and try to take down the big beast that you stood no chance against. That's what you did wrong. You were focused so much on perception, you weren't willing to do what needed to be done. Is that clear enough for you?
By the way, I want to know: am I sitting at like the same table, or am I mostly
Like you're probably I'm picturing you just kind of leaning up against the building or something. I think partially because of the way your art looks, I just kind of picture that's kind of your default jaunty pose, I guess.
Yeah, I'm probably like leaning outside, like I'm watching the conversation a little bit, but I'm trying to also give them privacy.
Yep. No, you're basically keeping an eye on things in case things get too heated. So yeah, but not actually contributing to the conversation. Yep. So
this is the part that I feel needs the most clarification. What do you believe the right thing for me to have done in that instance? I wasn't about to let Ella Girl go in on her own. I acknowledge that, yes, my powers were not of significant help against Calamity. But can I even consider myself a hero if I just stand by while others are working and I'm just watching?
No. There are things such as civilians in danger, trying to focus on resolving the effects of the villain. It is not a one and done thing. There are more effects than just fighting the biggest threat in round, especially when one can't meaningfully contribute in that regard. So on this point, because she is still an adult, so she has the automatic influence to. She is basically trying to shift telling you you are a danger and not a savior. So she's trying to shift your danger up and your savior down.
Oh.
Actually, no, reverse that. She's trying to tell you that you need to be a savior and less of a danger. Sorry.
Okay, I was about to say, like, that doesn't make what. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, it's like sometimes it's telling you what you are or what you should be. It's kind of hard to kind of solidly click on that sometimes with these shifts. So, yeah.
I'll keep that in mind for the future, but I'm sure that you have experienced this at least once, where in the heat of the moment, it is not always possible to make the right choice. We try, but that doesn't mean we are perfect.
It's like, fine, try. And she gets up. It's like, And I sincerely hope that heat of the moment was not another joke. And as she turns to leave, if you like, she looks back at you and is like, if you want to do something worth your while, she throws you a card. Try and see if any of your try to find out anything you can about this without tipping them off. And she just disappears in a flaming smoke cloud. The card she tossed you is
not looking yet. Immediately being tucked into the shirt.
Okay. Well, I will describe it for
mostly because there's cameras around, and it's a. If you don't want me to tip my hand, then.
Yep. Yeah. No. We can say that's kind of the scene there, and we can kind of jump to your guys' hideout.
Okay. So did my danger and savior shift?
Unless you chose to reject her influence. It just would have been your savior going up and your danger going down.
Yeah, I'll take it. That's not a big deal.
Okay. So when you get a chance to look at the card, it seems to be blank with just a crisscross grid pattern across it.
Like, okay, when you say blank, do you mean like empty or?
As in, there's no writing other than there seems to be like a background print shows a crisscross grid pattern.
Ah.
It need to be viewed in a special light, perhaps, or maybe it requires heat to reveal it, or so many choices.
Do you show? Are you going to show this to the group when you guys kind of reconvene at the hideout?
At the very least, I'm going to ask you about it since I'm kind of watching the movie.
Yeah. You know, Jane is definitely aware of that card.
Yeah. I'm not sure if I'll show it to Foxfire, admittedly, because she seems to be the most,
Pyro-ish?
yeah, like, I'm not 100% sure she'd be able to keep it quiet.
So I think this is actually going to be a good kind of ending point. I can kind of feel out because I feel like we got some nice threads that we can start working off of. The last, before we do end of session moves, the last panel you see is basically a split view of Moon holding Frostshot holding up this blank card with crisscross patterns, and Kyubi looking at an identical card, except for this one actually appears to show information on it. And now,
I mean, to be fair, we've been calling each other, everyone, including me, has been calling me Moon too. So
I'm trying to at least refer to you by the proper character in this game.
Yeah.
It's okay. I go back and
the animal.
So yeah. All right. So end of session move. So let's start with Frostshot. Did you grow closer to the team, into the image of yourself, or away from the team today?
Not to be selfish, but probably into the image of myself, because I feel I handled the situation with
Firebrand.
No, that's
yeah.
selfish. That's
more the neutral.
A good middle ground,
Yeah, you didn't feel like you grew closer or further from the team, so you just kind of fulfilled yourself there, so that's fine. So yep. Yeah. So go ahead and shift a label up or another down. Your choice. Explain how you see yourself.
I think I'm going to shift, as much as I don't want to. I'm going to shift Freak down one and Mundane up one.
Okay.
Because while I was in my, superhero form, the video was a much more humane perspective on her.
Mm-hmm. No.
Or him.
Yeah, I totally grok that.
Them.
So.
Well, I've been trying to just alternate between him and her. I just tend to default to her a little bit more often.
No.
Yeah, in my brain I've been consistently them, but that's what happens when you have a lot of gender fluid friends.
Yep. So, all right. So cool. Ella girl, you probably had the least amount of stuff going on today, so I apologize. This is going to probably be hard for you.
I don't know if you want to count those weeks that I was away, or if we're just dealing with superheroing today.
Well, it's basically the entire content of today's session. It includes the love letter, letters to the editor, and the actual parts you interacted with roleplay wise. Do you feel like Jane has grown closer to the team, into the image of herself, or away from the team?
I feel I'm going to focus on one small part and say I've gone a little closer to the team.
Okay. Who made you feel welcome?
Actually, Frostshot. I was very surprised when he asked me to tag along on this mission.
Okay. Cool. So.
And it made me feel a little bit more like, I know me and them have some differences, but I was pleasantly surprised that he held his cool and he actually made a very wise way of handling the situation.
All right, yes, and I apologize for the echo. It's just Jake picking up on Dustin's mic.
Oh.
Sorry.
Try to figure that.
Don't worry about it. We're almost done for this thing. So, all right. So you gave Frostshot gained influence over you, and then you can choose to either clear a condition or mark potential.
I'd like to gain some potential because I don't have any.
You should. Oh well, you actually haven't. You missed at least one roll today.
Oh, and because of that potential, I get to gain a level.
Cool. So yeah, so you don't have to worry about picking it on the air because we're kind of wrapping up, so you can kind of think about which of your first advancements you want to take, and those will be listed on your playbook. Okay, so Kyubi.
Yes.
Did you grow closer to the team, in the image of yourself, or away from the team?
Away from the team.
Okay. Explain why you feel detached, and do you get to remove influence from someone on the team?
Well, because of the fact that I lied to them about where I was going, and I didn't actually want to be followed.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see who's got influence over me. Who do I want to
Everyone has influence over you.
Just completely ignored your request to be by yourself.
Yes, someone ignored my request.
Wait, what? Really?
So yes. So Blank no longer has influence over everyone on the team.
Yes.
All right. Cool. And Blank. Close to the team, into the image of yourself, or away from the team?
I'm truthfully feeling closer to the team because of the same reasons.
All right. Who made you feel welcome?
Fire, because I can trust her to follow me.
Okay. So, you asked her to follow you by telling her not to follow you.
Yeah, basically.
And I'm like, you were following me, so I'm going to follow you now.
Okay, so she gains influence for you, and you may clear a condition or mark potential. So I believe you're marking potential because you don't have any conditions marked right now.
Yeah, I'll just...
Cool. All right. So, sorry, not so action-packed today. We're, still trying to get our rhythm going here, but now that we kind of have a little more idea of where we're going with this, hopefully it'll be a little more fun next week. But to those watching in the past, present, and future, I bid you all